So, yeah, just a quick video just to look at the current markets. Some of them are probably going to be a little bit ugly and a little bit confusing, but this is really just how I'm seeing the markets at the moment. So, I wanted to run through the trades that I'm looking at, and also what we're looking at in terms of take profits, and really what we're looking at for the market overall. So, I'm going to start off with EUROCAD, and what we're starting to see, as I explained in one of my previous videos, is we want to start seeing a little bit of confluence across a few different pairs, and the euro at the moment is showing some really good signs in terms of a bullish continuation. So let's just dive straight into it, and we'll go on to the daily. Now, we have had, this is when I was doing the analysis, we have had here, we were working in this range now for quite a long time. Now, I believe that price has got to come back down and retest this level, and but at the moment we're not really getting signs that that's going to happen. Although we've come up and we have tested some highs, I still feel like there might be some liquidity sitting in the market that we haven't really tapped into yet. So we're just going to have to kind of wait and see. But for the short term, what we're starting to get now on especially EURCAD, and it's really good in terms of trend line breaks, as I've explained in like some of my educational videos. We'll see where this 4-hour closes. But I haven't actually taken any shorts on EUROCAD because it's been really corrective behavior. It's not really been like it's been a very weak downtrend, and you can see that this has been going on for now like 2 weeks, and it's usually how long it takes to cycle with the Canadian dollar. Usually we get like kind of 2-week cycle, and then we start to see the kind of break. So I'll give you an example actually. So you can see here 15th of Jan, then we can start to kind of see the break around 2 weeks later. It's just generally tends to be how it works with this pair. So what we're now seeing on EUROCAD is we've had this it's a very corrective downtrend. I mean, it's not, it's more a correction than it is an actual trend itself. And what we're starting to see now here is we're starting to see a real break of structure. We're starting to see a trend line break and a market structure shift. Now, the market structure shift has to be a break of this level here, and when we break this level here, I'm going to be looking to get into a long, as long as we retest and kind of take out some of the next area of liquidity. Now, I'm not interested in being in this too long. It's a nice like 7 or 8R here, as I've explained with buys on my previous video. Also, although we are breaking out now, and we can kind of see we're getting this engulfing now on the daily, we have come up and we've tapped into an area of liquidity, and I still believe that we have got to come down. But in terms of a nice kind of short swing trade, maybe an intraday trade, I'm really liking this. Very clean price action. So yeah, this is going to be a good trade. Now, in terms of confluence across the other pairs, now this is where it's going to get a little bit ugly for you. If you look here, I was kind of hoping we were going to get head and shoulders, but you start to kind of get a feel for price. And what we are starting to see is, forgive the levels, I'd want to know where these horizontal levels are, is we had this downtrend of which we got a really lovely short here with a full take profit here, and price hasn't been able to continue down. Now, what you start to see here is you start to see that we're actually forming a continuation flag, and this is on the 4-hour chart. So we've had the rejection off that level, which is really kind of the same rejection that we've had. If we were to put this in terms of time frames, we're starting to this is really the level where we're going to be seeing the rejection from, and now we're kind of coming down and retesting. So what price could do is we could get into this position here, and price could break out of this kind of continuation, or this downward momentum, and then we could continue to the upside for like a really long swing. Maybe look to even target some of these highs up here, which happened a couple of weeks back. For me personally, I'll be waiting to see, because I think that we could see another rejection off this trend, and we're definitely going to see a sell-off at this area. So I'm really interested in this in terms of a trade. I would sometimes take this as a trade, but because I feel like our main support is, you know, diagonal, I'm not too interested in getting in a position at these levels. Now we've started to see structure form. And the reason why I've left these levels on is because price with Euro Australian dollar will be very, very respective of these levels. When you establish levels with Euro Australian dollar and we get this corrective behavior, what we'll generally tend to find is price will work off them. So if we're looking at switches in momentum like we have here, like I left this on for example, I've just extended it, we can see, okay, these are going to be some entry points. So I mean, guys in the group will tell you I know Euro AUD quite well. I've traded it a lot. And as you can see, we're kind of getting the same confluence on EURNZD as well. So we've called all of these pivot points so far. That's why I love trading during a correction, because you get like really lovely pivot points over a month. You can get a lot of R out of these pivot points. You know, we had an 8R here. Didn't manage to get in this trade, but you know. So what we're looking at in terms of this is, obviously we had this weekend buying. Price came up, tapped, well, came to the downside, and now we've kind of let price form a level of support. Now it could go the other way, where we could go the other way where we kind of get like price break to the downside, but it's rejecting this, and it's also rejecting it very strongly. That's one thing that you need to take into consideration. Although the more you test, like it's like banging on a door, like knocking on a door. The more you knock on it, the weaker it gets, essentially, as the saying goes. But if we get a break of this kind of higher time frame, then we're definitely going to be in for some good upside. Some good upside here. So these, you know, if you're going to draw charts, ask me to send you or share the what's it called? Share it with you, share the layout on TradingView, so you can have these exact same charts. But if we do get like a pivot and we kind of break above this level here, which I think we might do, we break above this kind of higher time frame pennant, then we could just continue to go to the upside, and that'll be a really, really nice swing there. That'll be a lovely swing. Because we'll have got out of this corrective behavior and we'll get the continuation. But as for now, price is just squeezing. The more, you know, price has to go somewhere. If, for example, it will either be a case of we break this level of structure, or we break this level down here and then we kind of come down and we're going to test this level. So yeah, very, very corrective at the moment, but I can definitely see a big move coming. Now this kind of leads me on to GN. Real choppy at the moment, but as I say, I love this shit. I love it when it's like this, because you get really good pivot points and you get really, really good movements. If we go on to the daily on this, I personally believe that we've got to come down and test this higher time frame trend line that we've been working with for quite some time. We usually test it, so what, 28th of November, 24th of Jan, October. So we usually test it every couple of months. So when did we last test? 25th of February, roughly, around about. So I think we're definitely due to come down and test this on GN. And I'm not really getting any vibes here that are saying, like, the price action's not very clean, is it? But in terms of the movements itself, the price action is really clean. As I say, I like it when it's quite choppy like this, because you can find the pivot points, and you can always get an entry, even if it's only like a 4R or 5R. This for me is the best kind of trading when it's just messy like this, because, you know, for example, we've now formed some more structure. If we break this level and we break this trend, we come to the downside, we're going to be looking at that in terms of an entry, because price is like now kind of starting to get squeezed in a direction. It can't be like this forever. So yeah, this now brings me on to NZDJPY. I've done a little bit more analysis on this, and I've kind of found, like, right, I thought that we were just working here off this, like off this here, for example. But if we extend back, we kind of see that price has actually found, like, this is its little uptrend. But buyers are weakening on this. We can see that we were getting this big explosive move to the upside in March, and then we came down, and now we're kind of just retesting it. And it is the same. The more you knock on a door, the less or the more likely it is to break. So I'm just waiting on this break now. On the kind of JPY shorts. CADJPY has also given me this vibe as well, but we're going to look at this in terms of, because this is why it's important to get to have a realistic take profit target. So you could get a break of this. We'll analyze it to start with. So price is actually very bullish at the moment. If we look, although we kind of had this higher time frame trend line. If you go back to my video in January that said the JPY is about to drop 7%, I think we did actually roughly get that drop from when I posted the video. We actually did. So this was at the end of January, so I think it was posted like the 27th of January. We actually did get the 7% drop that I was expecting, and now you can see the price is very, very corrective. So in terms of where we're at with CADJPY at the moment, we have got a very, very strong level here around this kind of area here. If we see here around this level here.
I didn't get that. Could you try?
Okay, so that's Siri popping off. I'm not going to restart the video. So yeah, with CADJPY, we've got this very, very strong level around this area, and we're kind of tapping into it at the moment, and price is really, really trying to break above it. It's just kind of broken above it, but it's a big level. You know, we've got this kind of area of liquidity here, and then we've kind of got like this level here, which I'd say probably is the strongest one. Probably around here. Yeah. And we'll just zoom in and we'll see what we're kind of working with. And just trying to delete that. So let's go in and see where these levels are. Okay, cool. So we can see that this price is really struggling at the moment to break through this level, through this kind of higher time frame level, and we can see that price is moving up in numerous different ways. Okay, so we know here, we can see here actually as well, if we look here on the higher time frames, we can see on the 4 hour that this is actually a really, really good strong level. We can see the wick rejection off that. We can see the wick rejection here, here, here. You know, kind of prices come down a little bit here, here, here. So we're getting loads of lovely rejections off this level. And then also, you know, recently we're getting a rejection off this level here. Now I do believe that price is going to try and break above that, and maybe it does break above it. It might just continue to reject, and we then might just see price move to the downside, but we don't know. So let's go on to the hourly on this, and we can have a look at, okay, so price is now reacting off this higher time frame level, that kind of weekly head and shoulders level, and price is really struggling to break through it. Every time price is touching it, it's just getting rejected. So look at that big engulfing candle. Now it's why when you're looking at, if you're looking at continuation and you're looking for price, if say price's daily bias is really bearish, then you're going to be looking at price in terms of you're looking at, you know, price just to make a big move down. But it's quite bullish at the moment. So we know now, right, that we've got this level here, and we've got this level here, and these are kind of where we're looking for take profit targets. So what we need to do is we need to identify when we get this trend line break, so we can see that price is now reacting off this trend, but it's getting weaker. Okay, we see big rejection off it here, big rejection off it here. Okay, cool. Well, is price going to manage to break below it? No, clearly not. Now what we're starting to see is we're actually starting to see wicks go below it. So we now know that price is actually really rejecting off this trend line. So what we're looking for here is we are looking for a market structure shift, and we are looking for price to be able to break that trend line. We might even be able to get in a little bit higher up depending on what kind of price does. So for example, we've got, I can't really see too many levels, to be honest. We've kind of got this one here. Price has managed to form off a little bit, but it's not major. But we'll see. Because what we're just now looking for is we're now looking for an hourly candle to close below this trend. Say price actually does come up and it manages to hit, and we kind of consolidate, and then price breaks below this level. Maybe price is bouncing off this level. We get the market structure shift here, and then what we're looking for is we're looking for an area of where there's going to be the most confluence. So we know that price is most likely going to react off this. If we look at the higher time frame, we start to see another trend is forming. So we know that price is probably going to react off this. So that needs to be one of the take profit targets. We also can see this level here as a really strong area of higher time frame liquidity. So we could look at price being broken here. But either way, we know that what we need to see is basically price come and tap into that level, or price come in to tap to that level, and maybe price actually weakens and it taps this. If we break this higher time frame, then we're going to move really far down. But I don't actually see that happening right now. We're just going to have to kind of see and take that into account. But we can see that the buying is really starting to slow down. So maybe we get into a position here and price comes down and we take that out, and then we manage to break this kind of level here, and we actually just get into like a full-on bearish market with JPYs, which is something that I'd really like to happen, because I do not buy the JPYs, I only short them. We'll just have a quick look at USDJPY, because I know this is starting to drag on a little bit. Now USDJPY is really quite bullish at the moment, but this behavior is very corrective. That's what you've got to remember. We had like a really bullish move to the downside. We're not getting big steep buying. We're not getting strong buying like we were in October, where price is just moving up, or price is just really moving up like this. If you look at price, the way we had big moves to the downside, and now we're just getting this corrective behavior where, okay, price is moving to the upside, and like today it's moving quite aggressively, but it's very corrective behavior. This it's not very aggressive. So what we're now looking for here on USDJPY is we're just looking for a break of this structure here. We can see the buying is actually slowly starting to, you can see the angle compared to the angle of this. It's not running parallel like that. It's running like this. The price is slowly getting squeezed. It could go one way where it breaks above this and then it continues to the upside, or we then get what I'm looking for is where we break this and we continue to go down. So I'm slowly starting to think we're going to move into a bearish JPY market, and that's probably going to depend on NFP and also rate increases from the JPY bank. If you go to my video on the JPY pairs, which is, are the JPY pairs going to drop 7%? I literally called it, I think about 2 days before the bearish move happened. So definitely one to look out for. But yeah, any questions, guys? Just let us know, and we'll go from there. Put them in the comments, or put them in the free Discord, and make sure you like and subscribe to the videos. We're starting to build a subscriber base. It's really good. We're making some really good money over here, so make sure you subscribe so you can continue to get updates on what I'm looking at.